You know that feeling, right? You get a new business book, you're all fired up to learn something new, and then you realize it's 300 pages of fluff with maybe one or two good ideas buried inside. It's crazy. Most of them could just be a blog post.
Well, what if you could get the absolute best insights from 40 of the world's greatest business books without reading thousands and thousands of pages? That's exactly what we're going to do right now. We've ripped out all the filler and distilled everything down to the core principles that actually work. Think of this as your ultimate cheat sheet to building a business.
Here's the game plan. We've broken it down into 4 simple, crucial stages. First, how to start with nothing. Second, how to sell your idea. Third, getting the word out with marketing. And finally, how to manage the money so you can actually keep it. Let's dive in.
So, you've got the drive, you've got the ambition, but maybe your bank account isn't quite on the same page. How in the world do you start a business from scratch? Well, the very first step is actually pretty simple. It starts with you. Check out this killer equation from the book Strength Finder 2.0. It's so simple. Strength equals talent times investment. We're always told to work on our weaknesses, right? But that is a slow, painful grind. The real secret, the path of least resistance to massive success, is to pour your energy into what you're naturally good at. I mean, think about it. If you and a young Tiger Woods both decided to practice golf for 1,000 hours, who's going to be better? Him. His natural talent is a huge multiplier. Every hour he puts in is worth 10 of yours. So the question is, what's your multiplier?
Once you know your strengths, you can find your big idea. And this is where PayPal founder Peter Thiel comes in with this absolute gem. He says the biggest companies, the billion-dollar ones, they're not just a slightly better version of something else. They're built on a secret, a truth about the future that almost nobody else believes. Yet.
And I mean, just look at the giants this has created. Steve Jobs made a contrarian bet that we didn't actually want physical keyboards on our phones. Everyone thought he was crazy. Uber bet that we would willingly get into a stranger's car, and Netflix bet we'd rather binge-watch a whole season in one weekend than wait a week for the next episode. These ideas sounded completely insane at the time. Now, they're just normal. Okay, so you have your big contrarian idea. What's next? Do you lock yourself in a basement for 2 years building it? No way. According to the Lean Startup, you build an MVP, a minimum viable product. This is the absolute simplest, most bare-bones version of your idea that you can put in front of real people to see if they'll actually use it. It's all about learning what works before you waste a ton of time and money.
And here's the kicker. Your MVP doesn't even have to be real. This is my favorite example. The founder of Dropbox just made a simple video that showed how the software would work. The product didn't even exist yet, but that simple fake video was enough to grow his waitlist from 5,000 people to 75,000 practically overnight. He proved people wanted it, then he raised the money to build it. Genius.
Okay, so you've got the idea. But an idea is completely worthless if you can't persuade people to buy into it, whether that's customers, investors, or your first employees. Selling isn't some sleazy skill, it's absolutely fundamental.
You know, most of us blow the sale before we even open our mouths. You have to warm people up. A great way to start is by setting the frame with something like price anchoring. You mention a really high price to make your actual price sound like a steal. There's a story of a consultant who joked he couldn't possibly charge $1 million, which made his actual fee of $75,000 sound like a bargain. After that, you just focus on building genuine rapport, making connections before you ever ask for anything.
And this brings us to what might be my favorite tip of the whole lot, straight from an FBI hostage negotiator, Chris Voss. It's the calibrated question. Let's say your landlord wants to jack up your rent by an insane amount. Instead of arguing, you just look at them, genuinely, and ask, how am I supposed to do that? See what happens there? It's not a fight. It turns them into your problem-solving partner. It's an invitation for them to see your side of things.
All right, you can build it, you can sell it one-on-one, but how do you get the whole world to notice? You could have the greatest product ever invented, but if you're just shouting into the void, you don't have a business. You have a hobby. This is the marketing challenge. You've got to hear about Seth Godin's Purple Cow. Imagine you're driving down a country road, and you see cow after brown cow. You don't even notice them anymore. But what if, all of a sudden, you saw a purple cow? You would slam on the brakes, you'd take a picture, you'd call your friends. Your business has to be that purple cow. It has to be remarkable. In a way, your purple cow is just your contrarian truth made real. It's the proof that you were right about that secret nobody else saw.
Now this is how you make real money from the customers you've already worked so hard to attract. It's called a value ladder. Think about a dentist. They don't try to sell you expensive cosmetic surgery on your first visit. Of course not. They start you at the bottom of the ladder with a simple, low-cost checkup. Then, once you're a happy customer, they offer a cleaning, then maybe teeth whitening. They walk you right up the ladder to their most valuable services. So many businesses leave a fortune on the table because they don't have one of these.
This next one is a total game changer for your marketing. You have to get this right. In every ad, every email, every web page, your business is not the hero of the story. Your customer is. Think of them as Luke Skywalker. You are Yoda. You're the wise guide who understands their struggle and gives them the plan to win the day. As soon as people see themselves as the hero in your story, they'll actually start paying attention.
And that brings us to the final stage. And honestly, this might be the most important one. It is shocking how many brilliant founders fail because they're terrible with money. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where businesses live or die.
The book Profit First has an idea that is so simple it's almost genius. The way we normally think about accounting is sales minus expenses equals profit. You pay all your bills, and hopefully there's something left. But the Profit First formula just flips it around. It says sales minus profit equals expenses. You literally take your profit out first. Then, you're forced to figure out how to run the entire business on whatever is left. It forces you to be efficient, and it absolutely guarantees you're profitable.
You have to meet this guy, Mr. Market from The Intelligent Investor. Imagine you have a business partner, and he's totally bipolar. Every single day, he shows up at your office. Some days he's euphoric, screaming about how you're going to take over the world, offering to buy your shares for a crazy high price. The next day, he's depressed, saying you're doomed, and he'll sell you his shares for pennies. A smart business owner just smiles, pats him on the back, and ignores him completely, because they trust their own data, not his wild mood swings.
All right, let's do a quick brain test. I want you to answer this as fast as you possibly can. Go with your gut. A bat and a ball cost $1.10 total. The bat costs exactly $1 more than the ball. So how much does the ball cost? Got an answer? Did you say 10 cents? Don't worry, almost everybody does. That's your fast-thinking brain jumping to a conclusion. But the answer is actually 5 cents. Because if the ball is 5 cents, the bat is $1.05, which is $1 more. The big lesson here from thinking fast and slow is that our gut instincts can get us into a lot of trouble in business. We need to learn when to slow down and use our analytical brain to avoid making those costly 10-cent mistakes.
So, there you have it, the whole roadmap. We've gone all the way from finding an idea that plays to your strengths to selling it, shouting it from the rooftops, and then managing the money for the long haul. The playbook is officially in your hands now.
But look, all the knowledge in the world doesn't mean a thing without execution. So I want to leave you with one final question to really think about. After all of this, what is that one contrarian truth, that one secret about the future that most people just don't see, that you are willing to bet on? Because that right there is where your journey begins.